Frame rate's still choppy on stream.
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
well,
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this is a challenger reschedule between the Drakes and the Pretty Penne. This is a match day 10 reschedule that is being played now. So I mean, Starley, let's go over what we have to say about the matchup, right? So obviously, Pretty Penne coming into this one, they're an 8-1 team. They've beaten pretty much everybody very convincingly, and the one loss that they had was overwhelmingly close. It was an affair on Nuke, but it's hard to critique the season that the Pretty Penne have had so far, considering the fact that they're currently 8-1 and have shown basically zero signs of slowing down.
yeah, it's pretty disgusting. They have a game in hand, which is this one being played right now, and their round differential is plus 41. I think Sav is the 2 seed right now because of their head-to-heads against Big Slime and High Rollers, and Sav is plus 26. So UPS basically has a full win and 2 rounds on top of Sav in terms of the round win, like the round win percentage. Yeah, this Pretty Penne team is disgusting. I'm pretty tired of always having to deal with a good UPS Chally team. It feels like it's been basically a fact of life since I joined in season 12. But
It's been a long time since they've been bad in Challenger.
yeah,
I
well,
literally cannot remember the last time that they've been bad in Challenger.
I don't want to even think about it.
uh,
Um, but DRG's been playing better as of late. Good enough to at least lock a play-in spot, from what I understand. I think there are technically no scenarios that they have where they get eliminated because GRN can't catch up to them, and neither can H4K, who both have only 2 wins. So yeah, DRG is safe even if they lose out. Um, the question is, does DRG continue the upswing, right, and show what is going to be probably a really plucky upset against the teams like the tier's #1 team, or is this just going to be business as usual for UPS? Um, we're on Anubis. Everyone's not in yet. But UPS is also starting T side, which doesn't tend to help the narrative if you want a DRG upset.
well, okay. The one thing that the Drakes do have going for them is that they have been on a little bit of an upswing when it comes to form recently because they have won 3 of their last 4.
Yes,
And their only loss came to HR, who, in my understanding, are a pretty good team in the tier.
yes, they're also 7-3.
Yeah, so,
So
you know, Things definitely looking up. And look, you can't even critique HR because they got my boy YB on the team, the GOAT. So
That's true. Best
the,
T-side win rate in the tier at 67%. Don't ask them what their CT side win rate is.
definitely not below 50. I can tell you that much.
Definitely not below 50%. Of course, it would never be below
Nope.
50%. It's
Nope.
47.5.
You didn't have to
But
expose them like that. That's not cool,
I
man.
mean, they have you give a little glaze and then you throw a punch in when they least expect it because
There you go. You
you
hit him
know
with the left hook.
yeah
Yeah.
you hit him with a stray. Um, but yeah, I think Chally is well. Everyone else is playing tonight. Tonight's the last match day. If we look back at zoom out at the tier as a whole, there are a couple of games that really do matter. But I think I have to wait because we're actually going in game, and yeah, we're starting off. So, DRG Drakes on your CT side, Pretty Penne UPS on the T side. We're on Anubis, and round one has just kicked off.
Oh boy, can't wait. Looks like it's going to be a little bit more heavy of a mid lane here, starting off by DRG, and it looks like UPS are just going to chuck it down mid too. Initial duel is coming chilled Pyro's way, can't get it. UPS get the initial fight. Rose has to fall all the way back to Temple. Does throw Molly into camps to hold off the rush a little bit. But it doesn't look like DRG are getting in rotation quick here, so UPS can just sort of sit on their laurels and wait for something to happen, and it looks like they're actually going to cancel this and try to make a play towards E-Box here. The Bear Shark with a lot to do. Actually, no, they're going to go all the way back to B main here. Getting a little tricky with it.
Yeah.
And DRG still haven't caught on to this either. They do have a player that's finally starting to clear out cams here, and one that's sort of hanging around CT, but you can see that they're definitely scared of a potential flank through spawn here as UPS start to get closer to B main, and it looks like they're going to be going into a mostly open site here. Bear Shark with it all to do from E-Box does get one, but gets traded out immediately. So post-plant situation here for UPS. DRG quickly in rotation as Rose tries to take an early duel, can't find anything. Now DRG have to regroup to get anything done in this round, as UPS very stuck in their post-plant positions. Ori swings off the flash towards Temple. Lissy gets one. Frey gets another one, and yeah, nothing else to do here for DRG. Well, I would say that was a pretty well-called round there, huh? They got a little tricky with it, and DRG didn't really, they didn't re-clear for info with the time that they had, so ended up just being pretty easy bomb site entry, only had one to deal with, and, you know, closed the advantage post-plant without a problem.
Yeah, very cookie cutter. I liked the double back in mid. I thought for a second they were going to drop on Bear Shark because I think Bear Shark made a lot of noise running up canal, so I thought they were just going to jump him in the canal. Took the patient approach and split out back towards B main, which worked out really, really great, and now DRG's just going to, you know, toss this round away more or less. Great against the Mag 10. Okay, not many.
Not a lot, but they're being held off. Ooh,
oh,
he stunks out Free with the nade.
Bang!
Bang!
Bang! Straight on!
Ah, man, and a little team killing happening, but who cares? Because Freya is going to be able to buy into the next round with the AK, and clearly UPS not taking this one very seriously, given that there's a PP Bison in play. So I wouldn't necessarily describe it as just BM necessarily, but we're getting there.
No. But going back to the pistol, I think that was really nice just to hit a timing on Bear Shark in E-Box where the player was back out lawn and not really able to support on that crossfire. And once that smoke goes down, and like, you know, like you said, that post plant gets stuck in, it's not possible to re-clear back into B down players with no util. So really well played by UPS here as we go into the first gun round. DRG still sitting in a 2-2-1, now transferring into a 2-1-2, and UPS will mirror that across the board. Clock pushing 130 as Bear Shark sits in dark. Warri's thinking about a contest here. Doesn't bounce the molly the right way though, and Bear Shark's smoke will dissuade this exploration of the two SMG brothers on B.
Yeah, and looks like UPS are testing A little bit. You can see rotation from CT being drawn over into sewers here, but it doesn't look like that's where UPS are necessarily going to end up. Bomb is not necessarily tethered with them. They start to throw utility in. Looks like it is going to be an A split though. There are players encroaching in mid, and Freya trying to take an early duel on this Heaven player, but still not pushing off of it. As one of the mid players does get picked off here, there's a timer on this for UPS. They swing out off the flash. Great kill from Freya. Yeah, well done.
Trevor's in trouble here. He's got to get out. Does manage to escape. No harm done there. And a flank coming in fast from Index and A main, but Bear Shark needs to. Well, this is not going to be a clean fight with the PP Bison, but Bear Shark does good. with the better weaponry. 3v4 and all 3 pretty Penne members stuck on this bomb site. But don't discount them here. Freya lines up the first onto Bear Shark. It's clean and surgical, but Pyro trades it back out now down to a 2v3. Hunter, great kill there, and can't clean up A main, so now it's all on Kai with the Galil. Can't quite swing around fast enough. Yeah. But good retake from DRG, yeah?
Yeah, I think that was good good awareness there from, I think it was Chilled Pyro to sort of get out and just play the post plant. And DRG do a very good job of getting those trades as well. I think it was very clinical because UPS were, you know, it's not as if UPS necessarily made a mistake. I think DRG were just very coordinated with that retake there.
Yeah.
So good signs early from DRG in the first gun round, getting a round on the board, as it will be an interesting buy here from UPS, as Warriors will not be bringing a gun into this round. We'll have a Tech 9, but it seems that Warriors has dropped the op over to Freya.
Understandable, and Bear Shark is playing with a life or death situation here in E-Box.
Ooh, that's a missed house smoke. Now DRG gonna have to back off in mid as Freya starts to encroach towards A main, trying to get a pick. Nothing to it though.
Yeah. Well, Pyro just got a very warm welcome from Warriors Tech 9 there, down to 5 HP, and again, UPS splitting this map up really well. DRG looks really, you know, confused. There's a lurk smoke on B, there's a molly back cake on A. Where are the pretty Penne going exactly?
Well, after that flash. After that flash, it looks like UPS intent to encroach towards E-Box here, as this is going to turn into a B split. Made into E-Box to try to flush out the player. No one home, though. Will just be, the UPS will be very slow and deliberate about this. They clear out E-Box, they start to encroach towards site. DRG with it all to do. Bear Shark first up the account, then Index gets another Freya trades back immediately into the 4v3 as there's a litany of trades happening. Kai gets 2, immediately turns this into a 2v2 situation, and DRG on very, very long rotations here. So all of a sudden, Kai pulling something from nothing. As Freya on the angle gets the first. They're not going to expect the second player E-Box though, but never mind. Actually, Mr. Stacky very loud about this. As Freya is out of bullets, and all of a sudden we're in the 1v1, but boom, Kai trades. Another round for UPS. Look at that.
Yeah, Kai with some heroics to get on that bomb site. It looked utterly muddy for stages of it, but
yeah,
as long as you trade the kills, it doesn't matter who does it, right? And Kai did really, really well to clean up all the space taken. DRG was close, but this 2-2-1 is a little bit too passive for my liking on Anubis. DRG has been really content to kind of just let UPS dominate both canals and B main, and when that early round util comes in and you're worried about like what bomb site is UPS exactly hitting, you gotta push back out into info a little bit quicker than what DRG has been doing in order to get more than 2 defenders onto a single bomb site.
Yeah, and it even was a scenario where DRG did the right thing, or not necessarily did the right thing, but it worked out for them because they did get the initial side picks. It's just Kai gets 2 back and nobody's in position. Yeah, they're not working with any real info there.
Well, I think the struggle is, as well, oh, hang on, this might be a struggle for UPS to convert now, 4v3, and this bomb site is committed.
Well, okay, but Lissy gets the important 2 with the Mac 10. Gets another with the Glock 2. So,
yeah, I think the important thing, right, Rubai, is you can make up for like tactics or aim, right, when you overcompensate on the other. When you're on the back foot of both, right, it gets hard. You're basically asking your 2 B anchors to make like a heroic play. You're asking for Bear Shark to get multiple on the entrance through B main. And that's a really wide area to be spraying with a 20 bullet gun, you know? Sometimes you would ideally like to get a little bit more proactive on that side. But obviously still a lot of have to play here, and let's see how DRG adapts with UPS getting up to 4. I think DRG needs 4 to make this competitive, right? Unless they lose the pistol on T side and it's all over.
Yeah. Very dire situation as well. Is only 1 kit in this, so if you're DRG, you really don't want to get into a post plant, which has consistently been happening this half.
And DRG's combined economy has barely enough to buy a new end GPU, so.
Also, it doesn't matter. Quattro, the stream quality is still choppy right now. I'm keeping an eye on chat right now.
Yeah. So DRG does go into a 3-2 now with the Chilled Pyro kind of like holding mid at the same time, but also in a really fast pivot position on A towards cams. And again, UPS just into cams for free. A little bit of exploration comes out of E-Box between Bear Shark and Index, and they spot nobody in canals, but Lissy will be there to meet them soon as Bear Shark starts inching up, and yeah, well, his head is gone. Lissy will take that and mount it on a wall, and Warriors throws the Temple Smoke, and the A split is in full effect. It's on Pyro, and it's on Stacky here to make a miracle happen. 5v2 on this bomb site, mind you. And it starts with Pyro. It starts with the Windows home screen. Pyro takes down, or sorry, Kai takes down Pyro, and Kai will stack up another on Stacky. And just like that, it's a save.
Round over.
Yep. Kai is really good at getting these 2Ks, huh?
Yeah, no, Kai's been doing a phenomenal job opening up the bomb sites. If not necessarily in an opening position, then in a closing position. So, great game from Kai. Former FRG, by the way.
Former
Shout out.
deadbeat.
Also,
Why does
FRG?
Why does FRG not have a cute mascot like DB does?
Because we sort of take things seriously as a franchise. You know, like, let's be honest, right? Like CSC is serious, and we take it very seriously. And really, there's no time for, you know, silly Twitch emotes because I want everybody to be locked in. So ultimately, not a part. Okay, all right. Warriors will spot Rose. They got a little sketchy there for a second. I wouldn't be surprised if Rose honestly just let Warriors walk past there. I would have done.
I think Warriors. I think someone told Warriors you see him on your screen. The classic call out of,
you know, that could have.
He's right there. The very famous call out in video games of he's right there, but the